Hi there guys, it's Joel here from Aussie Chart Trends. Today's market update is for the week ending Friday the 26th of October 2012. In today's update we're going to take a look at the smp500 firstly, and then we're going to take a look at the asx200. But before we do that, I've just got to remind everyone that aussiecharttrends.com.au and this video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as any form of investment advice. I'm not a licensed professional. You need to make your own decisions regarding your investments. I'm just here to help anyone searching for a practical direction in today's markets. So let's take a look firstly at the S&P 500 here. We can see here on the daily chart, for some time now we've actually been watching this triple top formation in the process. Now, this week we had a clear breakdown of this triple top formation, and we now have a target of around the 1382 area. Now, how do we get that target? Well, we measure the depth of the first reactive move down, and then we add that on to wherever the market broke down. And as you can see, we now have a clear measurement in the 1380s. But if you've been watching the daily updates, you would know that we've also got a second equation in this scenario, and that being that we may be looking at a large head and shoulders top formation in the process. For those that don't know what a head and shoulders top formation is, it's where we have a left shoulder, a head, and then we form a right shoulder, roughly the same size as the left shoulder. And then we have a breakdown of our neckline, that being this red line here. Then we would have a move that would push us all the way down to a 1330 area. But because this triple top formation is actually pointing below this red neckline, it will be interesting to see if the S&P 500 gets a bounce here, and then maybe a push up to this area here in the 1430s. And then if we resisted back off, that would signal a head and shoulders top formation. But if we just continue to head down and we break this red line, and we do meet our target of 1382, well, I would say that we'd probably head down further and we would eventually test the 1330s anyway. So things to watch in the week ahead is this red line, because if it breaks, well, we probably will most likely see a move down to the 1330s. If we get a bounce on this red line, expect then that we may be looking at a rather extended head and shoulders top formation. After our initial breakdown here on Tuesday of this week, we broke through our support area, our descending support area, which signaled that our triple top formation was actually going to be working. And after we broke down, this week we've just had a bunch of data that has no real pattern to it. It is slightly sloping down, and you could say the case that this may be a little bull flag pattern in the process. I'm not convinced to make that call for the moment. And I'd say if we do get any steam or if we do get any strength, all we may be looking at is a move back up to the 1420s or a tag on this area here in the 1430s for another back test. So coming into next week, we can see that we've got our support area down here in the 1405 area, and we also have a resistance area up here that is descending, and that's in 1420s. Also, we have this horizontal level of support. So let's just see what happens this week. So very interesting times for the S&P 500. Let's take a look now at the asx200. Looking on the hourly chart here of the asx200, this week we watched the asx200 come down in a little ascending bullish wedge pattern. Now we had a breakout during the week, and I was stating that we may see a back test on this bottom yellow line. And on Tuesday's trade, we came down and tested on this area and also on this blue line here. So the market's found an area of support here for half the trading day on Wednesday, but then we weren't able to hold up and we end up breaking down on Friday. Now, as you can see, we've broken through 5 areas of support this week on the asx200, and things are looking quite weak. And you can also see that this yellow line that I've got drawn here, we resisted off this area first thing on Friday. One potential thing that we are looking out for is a head and shoulders topping formation in the asx200. As you can see, this yellow line where we did bounce on Friday, we could see a left shoulder here, a head, and maybe a move up to test one of these areas of support, and we may resist off and then come back down and take out this yellow line. And if we do, well, the asx200 then would have an expected target. If we were to break somewhere over here in November, we would have a minimum expected target of around the 4,370 area, and I would say that a few of these other areas would be able to hold the asx200 up. So it would be interesting to see what happens in the next week on the asx200. For the bullish scenario, we really do have to get back over this yellow line that I've got drawn on the chart here. If the asx200 can get over this area with a good bounce and a nice back test, well, I'm open to the fact that we could be heading back up. So coming into the week ahead, we've got our support level there around the 4,472 area, and our resistance areas are here on the chart. They're rising areas of resistance around the 4,510 area, 4,520, and there's some levels to keep your eye on. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and if you're not a subscriber to the channel and you find these videos of any benefit, all I ask is that you do subscribe. I'll be back on Monday for the free daily market update.